Hi, welcome to another episode. I want to say another episode of me sharing my traumas. I feel the pain. Try to heal from it, share insights, and above all, learn from it again. Mind you, those my aunties, they didn't take my siblings to go live with them. They took my siblings to the village, and my siblings were there with my grandma, you know because my grandma requested that they come, and she doesn't those are her grandchildren. I don't think she took care of them the way she would take care of her own kids. And my mom took my siblings and said they are not going anywhere. My mom took them hostage. My grandmother was so angry that, and she said, how can you take care of the kids I was taking care? So much anger. She was angry at my grandmother, my mom, my aunties, that's my father's sisters, were angry at my mom. They were so angry that my mom, but how can you be angry at a woman who saw her kids looking looking on looking unhealthy, looking malnourished, like looking unkept? They had so much scars on them. They lived a very terrible life. And you were angry. To this point, I will ask them, those my aunties, and I'll ask them, I feel like I want to ask them, would you allow your child go live with your husband's mother? And I'm sure I can beat my hands to my chest that they will never agree to it because they know. I digress. When all of this happened, this stemmed up to the level, the hatred they had for my mom increased. And they said they were never going to do anything for them again. My mom said, fine, don't do anything for my kids again. Don't do anything for us again. You have done enough. And because of this, they were so angry my mom didn't need help. Guess what my mom did? My mom brought my other sister and told that's my sister, to go live with her own sister, and she was somewhere in another state. And her sister took care of my sister well. Took care of my sister well. I'll tell you that for free. They took care of her well. I also want you to know that my mom died afterwards. My mother's siblings, never for once treated us badly. They didn't have much. I will come and tell you that my father sibling had so much more financially, better housing, better lifestyle than my mother's sibling did. But my mother's siblings, my mother's sisters, took care of us so well that we never felt the absence of our mother one day after she died. My mother died in 2014. My dad died in 2009. And I'll tell you, to this very day, my aunties, that's my mom's sisters, are still the best people I have ever met. They had their own flaws. I'll come here and tell you that for free. They had their flaws. But I wish they had help. This was in the space of 6 to 10 years. This was in the space of 6 to 10 years. And to this day, these people are not remorseful. They feel they did something great. To this day, they don't have connection with us because they did us wrong. Even though we were kids, we still knew. I am the first daughter. I saw, remember in the story, I was telling you that if I didn't go out with that girl who wanted to go on an errand and she just wanted me to accompany her, if I didn't go out at that moment and saw my siblings barbing in the barbing salon, cutting their hair, if I didn't go there and see, or I didn't accompany her, I probably would not have seen my sibling. So everything works for a reason. Something dragged me to go outside and accompany. And at the beginning, I didn't want to accompany her. My mom then forced me and said, accompany her, what are you doing? And that was why I saw my siblings. I knew God wanted my mom to take my siblings away from my grandmother, and my aunties were doing terrible. To this day, they didn't think they did anything wrong. I mean, I would still give them flowers because taking care of two kids with your mother is definitely not easy. And I also want them to realize that their mother was not really a generous person, you know? And if perhaps she was giving them a certain amount of money per month and say, oh, take, this is for these children and this is for you. Let's say she was dispensing allowance to my grandmother. I also want you to understand that that level of allowance would still not be enough, but it would have been better if you left these kids with their mother, but as the allowance you were giving your mother, you gave that portion of allowance to the mother of those kids. It would have been better. But for some reason, you guys thought you were smarter and you ruined their lives. I don't want to blame them because it was also their first time living. They've never lost a brother before. They've never had a a sister-in-law. The mother has never had a daughter-in-law before. So I want to give them the grace because let's say they didn't know better. That was their way. Now that they're over, this is where I expected them to make amends. Their mother is no more. That's my grandmother is late. She's no more. This is time you make amends. And I noticed that they're trying to come closer, but we are going back. I, we just don't want to me, I feel like I am even forgiving to an extent. My siblings, my sister don't like them because she got to experience them firsthand. I experienced them secondhand. There was a middleman, but she lived with them. It got to a point I lived with them. Like I told you, I went to live with one of them. And I didn't know she got pregnant again and she wanted a nanny, but didn't want to pay for a nanny. Guess what she did? She asked me to come live with her. And I went to live with her because I felt I needed to leave my environment at the moment. And I went to live with her. And I lived with her for almost a year. A year, she did nothing. I just left high school then. I was planning for a way to go to university. I was thinking, okay, if I lived with her, maybe she would do something with my education, perhaps send me to university or so. She did nothing. Nothing. I took care of her child. I cleaned her house. Every Wednesday, I was cleaning the house. I cooked the food. The husband traveled at the time. I cooked the food. We ate. I cleaned the house, but she fed me well. And I'm going to give it to her. She fed me well because I was doing most of the cooking. There's no way I wouldn't have eaten. I also don't think they were as terrible, but they just had so much anger for my mom and so much hatred. And because I am my mother's child, I would support my mother. Even though I feel to an extent my mom was still not that great, I feel like she had her reasons, you know? And I also want you to know that when you scar a child, it takes a lot for that child to break free. It takes a lot for that child to heal from it. And I also think we still haven't healed from all of that. They are trying to make amends, like, oh, we are trying to reach out to you. But then it feels forceful. It feels like you are trying to make amends because we are now grown, we now understand better, and you want your kids to have cousins and aunties who are grown as us. But you never did right with us. You never did us well. Why do you think we're just going to come running back into your arms? Because as the older one, I took my siblings to theirs maybe once or twice, and my sister was like, no, we're not doing this again. Yeah, my sister said no. There was even one time my sister did not go. They also know my sister don't like them. And with my sister, she doesn't hide it. If she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. I would tolerate you. You know, I will still be in the same room as you. I'll pretend like I don't like you, but deep down, I can still recall how much pain you caused me. I know how much life is going to get, and their children are missing so much. Her kids who don't know nothing, who didn't know what they did, are missing so much of having such a good relationship with us, of having such a cool cousins with us, like relationship. And I know they feel it. I know they feel it. I know they see it because none of us are close to their kids. And not everybody too is close to theirs because they remember I told you my dad has another brother. They also have issues with my uncle's wife. They have issues with everybody. So there's no way you're having issues with a child's mother and you want to be close to the child. There's no way. I think I have shared a lot today. I feel good, I feel good. And perhaps in my next video, I will be talking about my parents' relationship. They were such in a parasocial relationship. I think there was likeness, but there was no love because their relationship did test the hand of time, and it was crazy. So, my next episode is going to be my father. He was a good father to me, but never a good husband to my mother. Okay, so I'm going to see you in my next video. Today's video was good. I had a good time, and I'm going to see you next time. Okay, thank you for watching, and yeah.